Hello my friends, welcome to a very different video than what we normally do on the channel, but I wanted to make you aware, if you are a soccer, because that's what we call it in North America, fan, right? Here, soccer is the link, right? Okay, in North America, there is a new website, maybe even if you're not in North America, but there's a new publication online called The Athletic. Maybe you've seen it on Twitter, they've been advertising very heavily, but they've started a soccer/football section. So all the other stuff has kind of already been here. The NHL, MLB, NFL, all that kind of stuff. But they've just come in very, very strong on soccer journalism. Something that I think is extremely lacking. There's been a couple of publications that have ceased to exist, websites that have shut down, writers that have left, like Will Parchman, to go have to take regular careers because they couldn't make enough money doing journalism in soccer in the United States. And then The Athletic comes in, my friends. So what is The Athletic? Online publication behind a paywall. So what does that mean? You have to pay to see the content. Paywall. It's a wall. You gotta, to get over the wall or through the wall, you gotta pay for it, which will put a lot of people off. The flip side of that, though, is if you're willing to invest that into journalism in mainstream soccer and sometimes not mainstream soccer, you don't have to watch ads. You don't get a cluttered interface. It is a very, very, very nice interface. This is kind of the landing page that I'm showing you here. And again, you can kind of see there, like, hey, why would you want to do this? Blah, blah, blah. They've got a free 7-day free trial, whatever. But obviously, soccer is what you want to take a look at here. And it's called soccer, so sorry, people who call it football. It's just they're tailoring it towards their audience in North America. So I can't show you into the articles. I'm sure that's against my user agreement with them, but really, really, really like it thus far. I've had it for a couple days now. I've read many of the articles. It's got a pretty smooth comment section. It's not like your online publication like Yahoo public comments when you're talking about politics. Ooh, like you don't get that. So I want to show you. There's a couple different ways that you can subscribe. And this is a big thing for me, is I'm a really big believer in supporting content you love. Now, obviously, that's a very pandering thing for me to say because I'm a content creator. So like my patrons on Patreon have seen value in what we do on this channel and are ponying up actual cash to help incentivize me to keep making content. So thank you. Shout out to my patrons. I talk about this podcast a lot, but the Total Soccer Show is by far my favorite podcast about soccer/football. It's two guys, one's Brit, one's American. They're in Richmond, Virginia, and they are the antithesis of the ESPN talking heads. Where like, I take one side, you take the other, and now let's argue and just be loud. They actually think through things, and a lot of times it's like, oh yeah, that was really interesting, you convinced me. So anyway, I support them personally, but another way that you can support content creators you love is to use advertising links that they get. So The Athletic has advertised with the Total Soccer Show, excuse me, and offered a 40% discount. If you go to, I guess, let me show you. It's The Athletic /TSS. theathletic.com/TSS. And I'm going to put that link in the description. We'll take you to this landing page because The Athletic has advertised with them. You get 40% off if you purchase it annually, which works out. It's normally $60 a year. It works out to $36 a year. So that's one way you can support these guys. If you want to support me for some crazy reason, there's going to be a link below that link in the description, which sounds confusing, but I'm going to really make sure it's clear. TSS link, so you can get 40% off. If you go through my referral link, I get $10 in Amazon credit, but you only get 25% off, which works out to, if it's 25% of $59.99, you pay $47.99 versus $36. I don't think that's worth it. I'd rather you just give me $10. I'd rather you just get good content because I'm a big believer in we need this kind of content in North America. So use the TSS link. That supports them. That's supporting somebody that I like, and you get a better deal. Okay? But I want to show you some things because I do have some beefs with The Athletic, but I want to show you the beef and then the response, which I think is really interesting and something that you're not going to get from a major publication. Not to discount what The Athletic is doing, but I just think it's a little unique. So I was on Twitter, and you who follow me on Twitter may notice this. When you go to sign up, they're trying to essentially customize your feed so that the articles you're seeing are about teams or leagues that you want to see, which is completely fine, right? Like, that makes sense. The only problem is there's no non-American soccer / football clubs listed. So you like Liverpool, like I did. When you search Liverpool, nothing pops up. When you search them, and I didn't just do Liverpool, I did Chelsea and Man United, and like there was no option. But and that's okay because they're expanding their coverage. They just launched the soccer coverage. Totally cool. Only problem is you have to pick one. Like, you have to pick one to move forward in creating your account. And I was like, that is really, really bad design. Like, that's horrific design. So there is a US MNT that you can choose that I didn't know about because I tried US, but it's US MNT, and I tried USA. And so they just need to work on that. But so that's my beef. The cool thing is I got a response, not only from the Total Soccer Show, but George Qureshi, who just up until recently ran Howler Magazine, which was kind of like his thing. And it was a quarterly publication on soccer in the United States. He's sold Howler, and now he's one of the editors at The Athletic / soccer, right? So he actually responded. Like, I didn't tag him specifically in this chain, so he was paying attention and said, "This is a fair point and something we've discussed. Liverpool and some other blah 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 blah. There'll be quite a few pieces." And he had another response that's not showing up. Okay, there it is. I said, "Thanks for reply. Sad about Howler. I digress. I get that you can't cover every single team. That's fine. But don't force me to pick a team to finish creating my account. That's dumb. Really, really dumb." And he said, "I'll bring that to our engineering team. Definitely something we'll want to work out. Appreciate the feedback." There's not many, like, this is a relatively big launch, I would say. There's not many, I would say, companies that would take that kind of feedback well. And not only take it well, but, like, track it down to where I didn't have to go find out that George was the editor. George found my tweet and responded. That's really smart business. And if those types of people are involved, that's a good thing. I mentioned Will Parchman was one of the writers that I really like that actually had to quit being a writer because he had to go get a quote-unquote real job, right, to pay the bills. He's back, and he's writing for The Athletic. So I just thought it was an interesting thing. Just a short little video on this. If you want to get the best deal, I'm going to have a link to this deal, 40% off, in the description below. It's going to support Total Soccer Show, who I absolutely love. If you want to, for some reason, pay more and support me directly, that link will be below that link. But I'd rather you do this because it's going to support The Athletic and what they're doing there. So kind of a public service announcement, but I also thought it was cool that you can give actual feedback. They're active in the comments, like the writers and the editors are active in the comments as well. That's what I've seen thus far. So kind of a new thing here in North America. Make sure you check it out. Have a good one. I forgot to mention, they got a pretty sweet web app. You can kind of see the design there. Big pictures, easy to scroll. You can see what you've read. It makes it gray and white and kind of shrinks it down. Really good. Highly recommend.